Hi again, this is Leslie Ralph and you're watching the Happiness series on CAPS TV. In this video we're going to be talking about setting goals. Yes, I know it sounds like work, but actually it has so much to do with your happiness. So we can set goals about any number of things. We can set goals about school, about our future, about our career, about family, about relationships, and about happiness. Now something that's really common when we set these goals is that we use phrases like, I'm going to try harder, I'm going to work harder, I'm going to be more punctual, I'm going to be more positive. Do any of those sound familiar? Now, what happens when we state the goal this way is, while the intention is super excellent and these are all wonderful things to be working toward, it doesn't really leave us with a sense of certainty about what we should be doing. There's no clear path to success. And so for a lot of us, the goal can actually backfire. We can feel overwhelmed or confused, and then we just kind of put it off. So whenever you think about goals, I want you to remember this acronym, SMART. We're going to set SMART goals. Of course, that stands for specific, measurable, attainable, realistic, and timely. So let's talk about the specific and measurable. These two things go hand in hand. When you state your goal as, I'm going to work harder, you know, that's great in theory, but what does that even mean, and how do you know when you've accomplished it? When a goal is specific and measurable, you have a really clear idea of where you're starting and where you want to go. And you'll be able to tell if you actually accomplished it. So be really concrete and specific when you think about when this is going to happen, how long this is going to happen, what outcome you're looking for. Are you looking to increase or decrease something a certain amount of times? Are you looking to increase or decrease a score? You start to get the idea? Tell yourself exactly what to do and exactly how you'll know when you've reached your goal. Now, attainable just means that you're willing and able to work for this. There are plenty of great goals we could all be setting, but if we're not willing or able to reach it, it's not really a helpful goal. So you've got a really crystal clear idea of what it is and how you'll know when you get there. Now ask yourself, hey, am I even willing and able to do this? And if not, you might want to go back and tweak either what the goal is or reevaluate whether or not it's something that's meaningful for you to be working on. That leads us into realistic, which is simply, does this goal even make sense for your actual real life? So you want to pay attention to things like, how much time do you actually have? And have you accounted for all the other things going on in your life, including those routine daily tasks like cooking dinner, brushing your teeth, and sleeping? A lot of us get into the habit of overloading our plates, expecting to do it all, and you know, somewhere along the way we realize it's just not sustainable. So think about whether or not your goal makes sense for your life and adjust it as needed. And the last part in our SMART Goals acronym is T for timely. Give yourself a deadline. When you say things like, I'm going to try to be more punctual, or, you know, one day I'm going to run a marathon, it doesn't really tell us exactly what time frame we're looking at. And for a lot of us, if it doesn't get scheduled, it doesn't get done. So think about when you want to actually see this happen. And remember, we're being specific and realistic about this. So what you'll find when you set these SMART goals is that you have a clear path that you need to take. You're better able to recognize when you've reached your goals, and when you have your eye toward making them attainable and realistic and timely, you can adjust as needed to make room for the realities of life. When you can do this, you start hitting those goals a lot more consistently, and this leaves you feeling so much more powerful and so much more confident. Plus, there's a little added bonus that when the challenges of meeting a goal are really well suited to you and your skills and where you are in your life, you achieve a state of flow, which is that really great feeling you get when you just totally lose track of time when you're doing something that you're totally absorbed in. So setting SMART goals is an all-around win-win-win-win-win. You achieve the goals, you feel good about yourself, and you feel good while you're working toward them.